Hello there, and today we're in a different place in the house. Very special occasion. Hopefully this one won't be a long drawn out bore fest like the last one was. Yes, the new Evil Dead. I have to admit it's been a long time since I've seen the original three films, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn and Army of Darkness. I would say this one had a really good trailer as well. I mean, I first saw the uncensored trailer, which had all the gore and whatever in it, and thing is, it looked promising. I mean, the very fact that it wasn't a PG-13 rated remake with no gore whatsoever was, well, it rated it pretty high on my list. You know, I'm getting kind of hyped up for the new Carrie film as well, for partly the same reason. And you know, if you think about it, it's kind of sad, you know, that the only reason I get worked up about a horror film anymore is that, wow, it's 18 rated and it's got gore in it. You know, such things, you know, they should be relative to the type of movie they are. You know, you shouldn't, I shouldn't have to get worked up about it whenever, you know, one comes out and it's not got gore in it, or it has got gore in it. But, you know, I don't expect to see gore in, like, The Ring or anything like that, but I expect to see gore in Evil Dead and, like, slasher movies and such. Yeah, this one, actually one of the things I can praise with this is the gore effects are really good. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I've seen a film that's come out in the cinema and it's had this magnitude of gore effects in it, and they're really good looking. The film itself is really good looking. It's very nicely shot. You know, it's got a lot of things you'd expect in there. You know, it's got the sudden music cues, you know, the boom, you know, it's stuff you expect from horror movies nowadays, really. But it's shot very nicely. It's got a lot of very nice imagery. With what's in the Necronomicon and everything, the pictures in the Necronomicon, you know, it's got some ideas, and you know what? I could safely say that at many points I could say, yes, this is an Evil Dead film. You know, this is. I mean, it's got. You know, I don't know. I would say that it doesn't have the same kind of glee that the other films had. Even the first one. The first one was a straight-laced horror film with. I would say the first one was kind of like it was a straight-laced horror film with slapsticky elements. You know, I mean, you could say a lot of gore effects are, you know, they're kind of gory films are kind of slapsticky in a way. That became more apparent in Evil Dead 2, you know, where the gore became much more, the activities within became much more Three Stooges-esque, you know, with Bruce Campbell's hand getting possessed and him, you know, and the hand flipping him over, you know, and but the original was, for the most part, a straight-laced horror film. And this tries to do the same thing. It tries to be a straight-laced horror film, but also tries to have that same kind of, you know, that kind of slapstickish glee that the original had. And it doesn't quite work. The original. It was able to fuse the two a lot better. You could, you know, sense. I mean, there's the part where in the original where Ash buries his girlfriend, and then his girlfriend comes back as a zombie thing, and and Bruce Campbell has to beat the shit out of her with a large piece of wood, and you know, it's, on the one hand it's really freaky and terrifying, but on the other hand it's kind of funny because of the way, you know, he's fucking smacking her across the head with the board, and she's throwing weird shit up, and you know, it took a lot more. I hate to use the word glee again. It had a lot more fun with itself. You know, it was freaky and terrifying and nightmarish, but at the same time it had that kind of devilish joy. You know, this movie tries to do that, but doesn't quite work. Mostly, in part, because where this movie falls flat is with its characters. They're just, they don't spend enough time with them. And yes, you could say the original didn't spend a whole lot of time with them either, but, you know, in terms of, you know, developing their characters or anything, you know, there wasn't a lot of character development in any of these movies. But what I could say was that it made you like them better, the old one. It made you, you know, you got the feeling that these guys, that they're just going out, you know, to an old lodge out in the woods to have fun. You know, no accounting for taste, so where you go to have fun, you know. I mean, I wouldn't have said an old dilapidated lodge out in the woods that may very well hold demonic transcriptions. You know, I wouldn't have said that was a great place to hang out and have fun, but whatever, to each their own. And I don't know, that you actually felt more for Ash when he buried his girlfriend and then had to beat her up with the piece of wood. You know, you know, and it felt a lot. I don't know, it felt a lot bleaker as well, even though it had that, you know, like I said, that kind of devilish joy in what it did. It was a lot bleaker. It was a very blackly comic movie. The remake, I think the remake tries to throw a bit of hope into it towards the end, and at the same time doesn't really have that same, you know, they don't have the same kind of they went out there for a good time and horrible shit happened, you know, which is something that you see in a lot of horror films. In this, they're out there to because the main characters, or well, the Ash equivalent in this movie, his sister is on drugs, and they're trying to keep her out there so that she can go cold turkey and she's less likely to get a hold of shit and everything. On the one hand, that's kind of interesting, but I don't know. It just felt like, you know, horrible shit was going down initially, because you know, she's going mental in the cold turkey, and they're trying to make sure she doesn't hurt herself or other people, and you know, it really doesn't. It really doesn't feel like there's a contrast, you know. They were kind of, all the characters were kind of dull and dreary beforehand, you know. There isn't much difference this time, except that there's more gore going on, you know. And I don't know, that would be my main criticism, is that the characters are kind of dull and dreary, and they don't, you know, they don't have that. They take themselves. I don't know. I hate using the criticism it takes itself too seriously, because you can say that about a lot of films. You know, it takes itself too seriously. I mean, one of my favourite movies ever, Keoma, I know it's a Western film. You could say that film takes itself way too seriously. It's a really depressing movie. Keoma's great, you know, which is why I hate using that term, you know, takes itself too seriously. I guess in this case it would work because it does take itself too seriously. Because it's an Evil Dead film. Evil Dead never took itself seriously. Well, completely seriously, anyway. I'm just saying, you know, I think the original characters were less dull, and you know, I'll admit, it's been a while since I've seen the original. Maybe I'm talking out my arse, but I'm sure I remember them being less dull and dreary than this. And because they were out there to have fun, they weren't out there to, you know, look after some dickhead's sister if she went cold turkey, you know.